Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Golden Bachelorette's Chock won't leave Wichita. A Kansas spin-off with Joan would be amazing, but will she move for him? Jay-Z and Alicia Keys performed Empire State of Mind, celebrating the Big Apple. But the Golden Bachelorette's Chock Chapel is all about his beloved Wichita, Kansas. He's really embraced a sunflower state of mind. Yes, Kansas is the sunflower state, and Wichita's one of the most appealing cities in the state. Chock's bewitched with his hometown, and after some research, I'm starting to share his fascination. Chock and Joan have embraced a three-city lifestyle. They're dividing their time between Wichita, Maryland, and New York City. Joan and Chock's NYC love shack dreams haven't come true yet, as they can't find the ideal apartment, but they're hunting for the perfect piece of real estate. Their ambitious plan to spend time in a trio of iconic American cities may be smart, adding a little variety. That's the spice of life after all. However, it could add layers of complication that the mature couple just don't need. Wichita is a beautiful place, and one exciting local landmark is a dazzling sculpture, the Keeper of the Plains. The stylized design looks gorgeous against the blue Kansas sky. However, it's more than a striking work of art. It has a deeper meaning, referencing the city's indigenous roots. The sculpture, created by Kiowa Comanche artist Black Bear Boson, embodies Wichita's rich heritage. It's a city so inclusive that it's home to Envision Arts Gallery and Community Engagement Center, where the blind, visually impaired, and / or disabled can touch objects featuring braille dots. Other local attractions include Botanica, the Wichita Gardens, and Old Cowtown Museum. I think Wichita sounds wonderful, and maybe Joan would love it too, if she gave it a chance as her full-time home. Since the Golden Bachelorette's Chock Chapel owns a business, insurance services group, that's located in Wichita, he's definitely an important member of the community. He also owns 2 homes in the city, one of which features an interesting outbuilding, a man cave made from a storage locker. It's fancier than it sounds, with a glam mezzanine. It's a place where he can kick back with buddies, watching football games on a big screen TV while sipping whiskey or wine. No wonder Chock can't give this up. His Wichita kingdom is just too good to leave behind for very long. That's why Joan may need to make the ultimate sacrifice, moving to Wichita full-time. Yes, it's possible that they can make it work while sticking to the Tri-City plan, but Chock, who said he's tired of traveling, would probably be elated if Joan moved in with him in Wichita. See the Keeper of the Plains sculpture above via Visit Wichita and Instagram. In the pic above, a happy couple enjoy a leisurely bike ride, and this type of date activity might be something that Chock and Joan could do while a camera crew followed them. While a spin-off definitely hasn't been announced, maybe it's something the network should think about doing. They're both in their 60s, and I'm concerned that the stress involved with constantly traveling to and fro will tear them apart. I'm rooting for these two. I find Chock sincere. I've got a good feeling about him. Yes, Pascal Ivy thought he was too controlling, but Pascal actually hurt Joan more than Chock ever has. When I see Joan and Chock together off-screen, I feel like he's really trying to make her happy. I feel like he really cares. As for Joan, she's been so honest about her life, including living with grief as she tries to move on. When she sat in her car on Thanksgiving, close to tears because it was her late husband's birthday, I found it heartbreaking. Life can be so tough, and Joan isn't trying to pretend everything's perfect. I find Joan endearing. She's smart. She tells the truth, and she can be funny when she isn't sad. She's always looking on the bright side, but isn't afraid to get real about life's darkness. When Joan lost John Vassos to cancer, it was traumatic. She lost a husband she loved with all her heart. Her openness about that pain and the fact that she handles her problems bravely, with maturity, has really won me over. Sometimes, I think she's a little too hard on Chock. For example, Joan, whose history with Chock is shown above, once snapped at him when he was adding garlic cloves to a pork shoulder, believing he wasn't doing it correctly, as per Chock's Instagram. I felt she embarrassed him a bit as they were being filmed for social media. He seemed to be taken aback for a moment. No one likes to be corrected like that in front of a big audience. As Joan Vasso's golden journey inches toward its final destination, one of the biggest questions looming over her heart isn't just about love, it's about location. Chock Chapel, the charming and steadfast Kansas native, has made it clear. Wichita is his home, and he's not budging. The real question is, would Joan ever trade her East Coast roots for the heartland? Or in a twist worthy of a Bachelor Nation spin-off, could this lead to the Golden Bachelorette? Love in Wichita. Chock's Kansas commitment. Chock has captivated audiences with his warmth, sincerity, and deep appreciation for the simple, yet fulfilling, life he's built in Wichita. Whether it's his community ties, his love for Midwestern values, or the fact that he's probably got the best backyard barbecue in town, there's no denying he's deeply entrenched in Kansas life. During the season, Chock has repeatedly emphasized that he's not looking to uproot his life. In the most recent hometowns, Joan got a real taste of the Wichita lifestyle. One that revolves around family, Friday night high school football games, and the occasional tornado drill. While she clearly enjoyed her time with Chock, Bachelor Nation is wondering, could she really leave everything behind to be with him? Joan's life is elsewhere, but love changes things. Joan has spent her entire life on the East Coast, raising a family and building deep personal and professional connections. Relocating isn't just a logistical challenge, it's an emotional one. Her children and grandchildren are a major part of her world, and she's made it clear that being close to them is a priority. However, love has a way of reshaping what we once thought was non-negotiable. With Chock, Joan has found a connection that feels comfortable yet exhilarating. But is it strong enough to make her reconsider her future plans? And if she did move, could she adjust to a lifestyle that's so different from what she's known? A golden spin-off. Love in Wichita. If Joan does choose Chock, why not give them their own show? Imagine the Golden Bachelorette, Love in Wichita, where viewers follow Joan's transition from her bustling coastal life to small-town Kansas. Would she embrace the Midwestern charm, or would she struggle with the change? The show could follow Joan learning the ropes of farm-to-table cooking, hosting tailgate parties, and adjusting to a city where rush hour is practically non-existent. Of course, there would be plenty of heartwarming moments, like Joan and Chock slow dancing under the Kansas stars or bonding with his community at the local diner. But let's be real, there would also be some serious comedic gold in watching Joan try to understand what exactly a Wichita wind surge is and why it's such a big deal. Would Joan take the leap? For Joan, the decision isn't just about whether she loves Chock. It's about whether she can see herself truly thriving in a life so different from the one she's known. Moving across the country for love isn't unheard of, but it's a major sacrifice. She has always been independent, and the thought of leaving her comfort zone is likely daunting. On the flip side, Chock's unwavering devotion to Wichita means that if Joan doesn't see herself there, their love story may end before it even begins. While they've had undeniable chemistry throughout the season, logistics and lifestyle compatibility can't be ignored. Could Chock soften his stance? Or will Joan be the one forced to compromise? A crossroads for Loviers. The season final approaches. The Wichita dilemma looms large. Will Joan risk it all for love? Or will geography prove to be the deal-breaker? While fans are rooting for a happily ever after, they're also realistic. Even the strongest love stories can be tested by something as simple and as complicated as where to call home. One thing's for certain, if Joan and Chock do end up together, they'll have one of the most talked about golden love stories in Bachelor history. And if we're lucky, Love in Wichita might just be the next must-watch spinoff.